Alright, in today's deck we're looking at no new cards surprisingly, but we're looking at an old card that has not seen play on this channel so far. And that is Cathar's Crusade. For 5 mana we get an enchantment that triggers on each ETB of any one of our creatures, and it makes our board larger. This is the anthem to end all anthems, and if we can get it onto the battlefield, this token deck should be able to do pretty nasty things with it. Speaking of tokens, let's take a look at how we produce them. You're going to notice a pretty tried and true combo of Guide of Souls and Ocelot Pride here. White Energy Shell, pretty decently good cards, especially in Timeless. Pretty solid. We run a Paladin class as well since we want to go wide and eventually might be able to get into a situation where we can get a big double striker out. But at the end of the day, this thing does protect us for 1 mana at the beginning of the game if we need to do something like that. For Static Prisons here, since we are running the White Energy Shell, might as well have something that can deal with any non-land permanents. Since we're pretty good at dealing with creatures with this deck, we just need to make sure that their permanents are not going to be an issue for us. Switch to Plowshares here, just ×2. Spot removal that will work well with our 3 Solitudes. So we'll have up to 5 effects of exiling a target creature. Even more if we use our 3 Felia Exuberant Shepherds. For 2 mana, we get a Flash Dog that on attack allows us to flicker a permanent, either ours or our opponent's. And if it was one of ours, then Felia gets bigger when it comes back into play. Felia is pretty good because we can blink things like our Solitude, which is really, really nice. We can also blink our 3 copies of Horn of Gondor. Are one of our other ways of making sure that we're able to create a bunch of tokens. So for this thing, on ETB makes us a human soldier. You'll notice that we also do make human soldiers through a wedding announcement. That's kind of notable. And then we also have a small human sub-theme with our 4 Recruiter of the Guards, Adeline Resplendent Cathars, and our 4 Guide of Souls. So we have a decent number of humans in this deck, and that makes Horn of Gondor a not terrible play. I've had some long games with this card that ended up really showcasing how good it can be in a slow game. And then, just kind of going down the line here, Wedding Announcement, a card that we've seen a long, long time ago when it came out in the House of Markov series, or the House of Markov set, the Wedding set. I can't remember the name, but you know what I'm talking about. This thing, it's an anthem at the end of the day, but does also make us some of these humans. Recruiter of the Guard, it's going to help us find our Felia, our Guide of Souls Ocelot Pride. Can find Solitude if we need removal or an Adeline, so this is going to be a pretty versatile card in this deck. It's just toughness 2 or less. So you actually can't find Adeline, but you can find everything else: Guide of Souls, Ocelot Pride, Felia, and Solitude. And then we run 3 True Battalion here. This is mainly just to copy the energy side of things. A double Recruiter of the Guard is nice, but we're not often going to hit that. And then really at the top end, it's just the Cathar's Crusade and the Solitude. In this deck, we're also playing some copies of Witch Enchanter, which is fetchable off of Recruiter of the Guard. Also findable off of 3 Tree Battalion as well, which is... Oh, sorry, no, not findable off of 3 Tree. It's just Recruiter. And then we're running some interesting spell lands here. Kabira Takedown is one. This one, basically, if you go wide, it can become sort of a murder. Deals damage equal to the number of creatures you control, can hit a creature or planeswalker, which is nice. And then I'm trying 2 copies of 3 Tree City here since we have this human sub-theme. The idea here is that if we go wide enough, we can have a more or less combo turn where this thing cranks out a bunch of mana, and we're able to kind of go ham with our recruiters and other cards. Then there's an Aganjo and some Castle Ardenvales, which is the last thing that makes our little humans. So, big human sub-theme here. Many such cards. 3 True City hopefully going to have some support here. And as well as Horn of Gondor as well. So that is going to be the White Tokens deck. Hope you guys enjoy this one. Make sure to like and comment on the video, and I'll see you guys in round 1. This episode of Full Control MTG is brought to you by Patreon and your viewership. If you want to support the channel financially, the Full Control MTG Patreon is the best place to do so. With the Shockland tier, you get access to videos as soon as they are recorded and edited. Don't wait to get your hands on another Full Control MTG deck list. Otherwise, it's your support for the channel that keeps me going. Thanks for being here, and enjoy the video. Okay, here we go. It's round 1. Opener has 2 lands. This Castle Ardenvale will come in tapped, but we'll be able to an Ocelot Pride turn 1 and an Ocelot Pride turn 2 And Nephalia turn 3, that's not so bad. And of course Solitude here in case we really need an emergency button. Opponent will have a Flooded Strand. And it's an Undercity Sewers here. We'll see what they surveil away, if anything. Alright, just a land goes. And I think Paladin class is going to be a good pitch to Solitude when it eventually comes to pass. And we'll pass. Slow start here. Opponent could have a Psychic Frog or something like that. It'll actually just be a Mystic Sanctuary. That's pretty good to see. Well, we'll hop in like this, and then we'll just set up for a Felly at end step. Felly is going to give us pseudo-vigilance on that Ocelot Pride. If we draw a land here, this Recruiter of the Guard is going to be really good, so we will do the Felly in now. And we will move to our turn. We'll see if they have anything to say about that. And they will just discard. Okay, so we have a Flash Solitude here. In case they decide to kill Ocelot Pride or something else, we should be able to gain our life. And I think that it's important that we do not blink anything with Felia. Alright, an opponent just allows us to keep hitting here. We will probably just go with the Paladin class here to improve on our permanence. And yeah, nothing else to do. Felia trigger is fine, and Ocelot Pride makes us a token. We have 7 of 10 permanents. Should be able to hit it next turn if we find a land. Shocked Breeding Pool. Scary to see. Maybe it's an Uro. Maybe Ocelot Pride goes away. Looking at my Kabira Plateau. What kind of deck are we playing against here? I do not know. They're giving me my turn back here, and we do draw the land, so we'll go Recruiter of the Guard here. And we'll just start moving forward with a game plan. Let's see. So we're about to make a lot of tokens here. I will probably grab a Guide of Souls here. And then we will attack, and I'll find another Ocelot Pride. Felia will trigger. We'll take Recruiter of the Guard. See if they have anything for that. Looking like they don't. So I think we'll be getting that back at the end step. Nice. We even get our life here, which is good. And on our end step here, we want to make sure that we trigger Felia first. Nice. The auto trigger gets it for me. Recruiter of the Guard here. Find something with toughness 2 or less. We will get another Ocelot Pride since we are about to hit Ascend. And now Ocelot resolves. And there's 2 more tokens. Cool. So we have a lethal board state right here. We also have a way to set ourselves back up if they deal with our board. I feel pretty good. I guess Toxic Deluge is the worst thing that they could have for me right now, but that's something that is that we can work around. Okay, looks like it'll be show and tell instead. We have a Static Prison, so they will need to win at instant speed. Alright. So, Static Prison will target the Omniscience. They'll have to go Born Upon a Wind in response. They have Dig Through Time, sure. That can find it. They'll either have to chain Dig Through Times or find the Born Upon a Wind, which will win them the game here. It's all going to come down to whatever this Dig Through Time can find. Taking a long think. They found their cards. And will it be Born Upon a Wind in response? It'll be Dig Through Time again. Alright, we run it back. They've seen 14 of their 44 cards here. I imagine if they have it, they would have found it by now. So I'm kind of feeling like they have this game. But, you know, we'll stick around and wait for them to actually put forth the kill. And Born Upon a Wind, is it? It is Born Upon a Wind. You got it. Alright. So we'll let that go. And then can they put together a win right now? They should be able to. There's the acquisition, and now all they need is a draw 7 or look 7 deep in hand. You got it. And it'll be assemble the team. They'll find their second copy or their second casting of the same card, and they will take round 1. All right, well, we did the things that we needed to do. Opponent did the things that they needed to do, but they're a combo deck, so when they do their thing, they win the game. Here comes round 2. All right, round 2. Double land with a Witch Enchanter as our third. I do like how this looks. If we can draw an Ocelot Pride early, that could be even better. It's a fourth land. I mean, we're going to be getting close to that Cathar's Crusade, which is fun. There's our Guide of Souls. Will it be Swords to Plowshares? Looks like it. There it is. Alright, looks like we'll play a tapped Witch Enchanter and then go into a Recruiter of the Guard. We can even get another Guide of Souls in there. See if that's worth a counterspell or another Swords. So this Cathar's Crusade, we're probably going to have to curve around a counterspell somehow. I think we go Recruiter of the Guard here, or do we go Adeline? Adeline can hit a counterspell if they do play any. Apparently they don't. We'll get in with Guide of Souls, and we'll start to make some tokens. Here we go. Adeline, just as good as making tokens as Ocelot Pride is, up until when we have Ascend. So maybe Supreme Verdict here, that kind of tracks. We have Recruiter of the Guard, Castle Ardenvale, Ocelot Pride. I love it. Alright, let's take action. Let's find our Guide of Souls first. Alright, and we're back on track. So if they spend their mana now, maybe to play a Teferi, yep. We'll draw their card here. So we'll be able to hit Teferi down to 3. That's not terrible. But I think it's probably better to go towards killing a Teferi. Alright, mana drain, that's fair. We want to get those out of their hand. Here's Ocelot Pride now, a much harder one for them to deal with. And we do get to attack all into Teferi. That should be 4 damage. We will take action. And we will target our Recruiter of the Guard. Alright. Make another Ocelot Pride. We are at 9 of 10 permanents here. All we need to do is get 1 back to stay. I am a little worried about them being able to wrath our board consistently, but this Castle Ardenvale is going to go a long way if they do. It's a very Time Raveler. Okay. So they're going to have 4 mana here. They're going to send this back to me. That's fine, I guess. Because my Recruiter of the Guard can get a Felia. I can also go Cathars into Cathars. Well, let's attempt Recruiter of the Guard. See if that's worth a counterspell. They're thinking about it. Alright, nice. I will definitely search. And then Witch Enchanter, I don't think we're going to need. I'll take the Felia. We'll do Felia now, see if that's worth a counterspell. Okay, nice. So we have enough to turn on our Guide of Souls here. We're going to send Ocelot Pride and Guide of Souls at Teferi and this guy at this guy. Except let's switch that back and have Ocelot Pride go here, this go at Teferi. We want to make sure that Teferi dies. And then we will pay and put on the little cat. They can wrath the board at instant speed here, though, which would be unfortunate for me. Okay, Orcish Bowmasters. Will they take out my 1/1 is the question. They'll take out my Ocelot Pride. Okay. We will take action here, make sure that Teferi does die. And they can double trade for my Guide of Souls. Okay. We'll take the Orcish Bowmasters first. And Teferi is officially dealt with. Sweet. Unfortunately, now we don't have any more cats. We'll be able to flicker with Felia this turn, though. So we know that they are actually Esper with Rafine's Tower and Watery Grave now. So I have 3 True Battalion or Cathar's Crusade. Both are pretty interesting. Let's attack in. One here, one there. Felia is going to trigger on my Recruiter of the Guard. I could also potentially do... Yeah, I could have done the the orc army that could have been good. It's fine. So I guess they deal one to the Recruit of the Guard and they'll trade with Felia. Interesting. Alright. So they're going to end up with the Bowmasters as well. Or no, they'll give me my Felia apparently. No. Okay. I was about to say, I would be surprised if they didn't trade the 2/2s. Okay. Well, let's try to see if our Cathar's Crusade can resolve. Because getting a Cathar's Crusade into 3-Troop Battalion would be crazily good. They're one card in hand. One of them was a land. One of them's a problematic land, though. Alright. We have a lot of life. We can tank a couple hits with the Hall of Storm Giants. We're going to be choosing human here. And here's another Cathar's Crusade. Can this one resolve? Alright, it does. So now this 3-Troop Battalion could be pretty good if it resolves. And I've attacked all in, so hopefully they're going to decide to activate Hall of Storm Giants here. And hopefully their Scry doesn't hit. Alright, 2 to the top. This means that I'm hopefully going to be able to catch them with my 3-Troop Battalion. I have access to 6 mana, so I can play a 2-drop in addition to the 3-tree. Alright. And perfect. So I can go Felia here into 3-Troop Battalion. Love to see it. Let's autopay like that. And we put a counter on each creature we control. We'll hit for 4. And I think I'm going to end my turn here because they need to do something about the board. Supreme Verdict. That is unfortunate. You got it. And will this pass all the way through? I hope that this last card's not a counterspell. We'll go 3-Tree Battalion then. Let's see if they drew well. They have not immediately countered it. Okay, there is a mana drain here. So their mana hopefully is not going to be super useful. I'll move to my turn here. Recruit of the Guard is going to be beautiful. We'll go find another Felia. We'll take action. Let's find a... Ooh, you know what? We could actually do an Ocelot Pride as well. But I think Felia is going to lead the way to more good cards. So we'll do her as well. I suppose if they draw a board wipe here, then I kind of feel bad about the way that I sequence this, but it's okay. Well, it wouldn't be okay, but we're just going to hope that they didn't draw it. Okay, Swords to Plowshares on my Felia. I guess I am kind of mad about how this happened. And they will hold or activate Hall of Storm Giants. I guess they will do it now. And they will be able to activate Castle Vantress as well this next turn, alright? So, they've decided to attack. I'm taking my 7. If I can grow this Recruiter of the Guard a little bit with... a 1-mana creature and then a Castle Ardenvale entry, we should be able to win the game this turn. Okay, Recruiter of the Guard, that'll work because we go Recruiter of the Guard into something else and we win the game. Beautiful. We'll take action. Let's find an Ocelot Pride. And through the magic of Recruiter of the Guard, we will take round 2. All right, nice. That was a really good exposition of what this card is able to do in a deck like this. Blink it with Felia, find it off 3-Tree Battalion, cast it from hand. Cathar's Crusade resolved on the battlefield was a huge turning point for us. It took us a lot of creatures, 2 Cathar's Crusades, and the 3-Tree Battalion in order to get one to resolve on the battlefield. So that was a really great fight against Esper Control. Here comes round 3. All right, round 3. The lands are a little bit tough. This is the same land setup we had in the first game, but it's also kind of the same curve that we had as well. It wasn't the end of the world then, and I think that it will be fine to take now. Wooded Foothills. We will resolve. Big decision here on the fetch. They must be at least tricolor. And it will be a Shock Sacred Foundry for a Guide of Souls. Okay. I always have a Solitude to pitch cast if I need to. Alright, so we'll probably be pitching the Felia here. Soul Warden, okay, so we're going to be gaining a little life here. That's okay. If they play another creature, I think I'm probably taking the Guide of Souls. Ooh, or am I taking the Ocelot Pride? I'm taking the Ocelot Pride. Alright, so they will be getting some value with the Guide of Souls here. But we just cannot really let them have the Ocelot Pride thing going. Guide of Souls is the one that needs to go next, which possibly will be my Static Prison play. Horn of Gondor comes down. So if I play the Static Prison, I'll have 2 turns before their Guide of Souls comes back. Yeah, I think I'm going to just go with the Ocelot Pride play for now. Sure, they gain life, but I have a permanent on the battlefield that disincentivizes their Soul Warden attack. And that gives me some time to draw another land to get my Adeline down. And possibly Felia on the end step into flickering their Guide of Souls could be good. Especially if they have spent the energy to make it bigger. Shaka Temple Garden, so we know that they're Naya. Oh, and they have Flage. Alright, so Naya control with Flage. What green cards do they play? I could not tell you. So a Flage is going to be coming back at some point. We'll have Static Prison for it then. And Kabira Takedown, that'll be our 3rd land. We're going to have to hold this Felia here and try to ambush the Soul Warden in combat. All the while, this Guide of Souls will be taking us down very quickly. And we're also going to have the Flage to deal with. Boy, that's going to be a tough one. So if they want the Flage, they got to shock another red source here. It's going to be a Guide of Souls. Okay. That doesn't feel very good. So this is going to be 1. If they play another creature, they will have the 3 energy required. They will not. Okay, that's good. Alright, let them resolve these, and then we drop our Felia. Felia can eat Soul Warden. They'll gain a life, however. And then now we kind of feel a little awkward when this Flage comes in, but, you know, at least we've taken one of their creatures now. Okay. And maybe there will be a Shock or Galvanic Discharge. Okay, so another Stomping Ground. That is their 2nd red. So I could play Adeline as another Flage target, but she survives Flage, which is good. So I think I will do... I can go Horn of Gondor as well, actually, and then flicker with Felia. I like that idea. Alright. Flicker our Horn of Gondor. And I think they play Flage next turn, to which we go Static Prison and or Adeline. So if they Flage, targeting my Felia, which seems like the right move for them. Oh, they actually can't do it yet. That's good. So they may not do it this turn. They might look for a reason to kill Felia. So they found one anyway, sure. But now my Horn of Gondor can start going off the charts. This thing is like a Cranko, but for humans. And it can do some pretty gnarly things. They will have this Flage if they would like it. And that makes things tough for me. They actually decide not to go for it, which is pretty sweet. Adeline will be a good one. She also makes human tokens. And this is going to set up my next Horn of Gondor play. Alright, Adeline's big. She blocks the lower Guide of Souls. And then I can go Horn of Gondor next turn. Looks like they'll go a Johnny instead. Fine. So this presents a little bit of a problem here. We have to try to double with Horn of Gondor really fast. Alright, we're going to get hit for 6 damage here. We're going to die next turn, which means that Static Prison needs to be used for one of the Guide of Souls. Okay, so Static Prison, I can do a Horn of Gondor activation here. Yeah, I think no matter how we do this, we're still dead to a Flage. So while our attack could have done something, it's really not going to end up doing anything in the end. The opponent's going to have us here. We attack in, we get to make another token here. We'll wait till blockers, and then we'll make a bunch of creatures with Horn of Gondor. And I mean, you can at least see in this situation that we get to go extremely, very, very wide with this sort of deal. You know, Adeline becomes a 10-4 with Vigilance. This could have been good in the next 2 turns, but unfortunately, opponent has 6 damage in the air and a Flage to boot, so they will have us regardless. But hey, you know, we gave it a try. So that will be round 3 as our opponent finishes up their kill here, and we'll move to round 4. So far, I think we've seen some pretty good sides of this deck. You know, it's always really hard being in a single color because there's so many good cards in the Timeless format in every color. It's kind of hard to just play only one. But, you know, we make it pretty well here with the Ocelot Pride and Guide of Souls combo. Both are really strong cards. So there's the Flage. That will hurt me, I suppose. And then Guide of Souls gets to do its thing. And then their Guide of Souls can make the Flages big. Nice. Alrighty. Well, that'll be the end of round 3. Here comes round 4. Alright, let's go. We got lands this time. Those are always nice. I'll keep the 7. So if Ocelot Pride can get in, we're happy. If it can't, well, Felia can do some Felia things. We'll have a Recruiter of the Guard on 3. That is the timing that we always like to see. Here is an Ocelot Pride. Bloodstained Mire, they have access to 3 mana. What'll it be? Mountain. Demonic Tutor. We might need to represent. We might need to respect a Blood Moon here. Ooh, looks like I'm actually gonna get a Ocelot Pride in right now. Let's go for Human, and we will attack with the Ocelot Pride. If it's a free Ocelot Pride trigger, I'm always happy. They just have 1 measly treasure here. We'll move to end step and hold up our Felia. So Felia into Flicker Guide of Souls, possibly pretty good. Felia into Recruit of the Guard is the best thing that we could do. They have 5 mana though. Oh, and they're going Sneak Attack. Yikes. Okay, so I think we are going to need to Static Prison something here. Alright. What's it going to be? Are we getting Annihilated here? Vaultborn Tyrant. Yuck, you know, that's not the end of the world. This one, I believe, when it dies, you make a token copy. All right. Well, we're getting trampled over anyway, so fine. Not blocking. Take our 6. So I think Static Prison has to go on Sneak Attack. All right. That gets sacrificed. They make a copy of the Vaultborn Tyrant. Sure. Nice. All right, so go to my turn. Perfect, actually. Wow, we have Solitude pitching 3 Tree Battalion into Static Prison Guide of Souls. Nice. And this is a token copy, so I could actually blink it with Felia. That's even better. So let's go Static Prison. Take out the Sneak Attack. Felia will trigger Flicker their 6/6. And we get in. And we'll be able to trigger the Ocelot Pride here. Nice. Alright, that was pretty good. We have come out rather favorably from this little smashing. For me, though, I need to find another land. Alright, another Vaultborn Tyrant. That can be solituded. That's okay. Okay, well, kind of meant to do that earlier, but we will always be paying this. And then now we're probably just going to be going with a Guide of Souls every turn. And then we have to pitch cast the Solitude here. We'll get rid of the 3 Tree Battalion for now. Boom, boom. And it did not die, so it will not trigger. We are dealing with their deck pretty well here. There's a lot of worse things that they could be putting in, so, you know, that at least is pretty nice. I'm just flickering the Guide of Souls for really no reason here. We actually probably want to hold full control here. I needed that to be the... Actually, no, this is the correct way. So Felia returns the Guide of Souls. Now we do Ocelot Pride things. And we should be hitting 9 this turn. 3, 6, 9. Yep, so next turn we should have what we need. We also have the ability to attack once. And we have backup Felia if we have to. Dark Ritual. Are we going to sneak attack again? Sneak attack again with 2 activations here. Only 1 card in hand, though. I get to go to my turn. All right. We are definitely taking action here. I think that Paladin class is not going to be activatable right now, so it has to just be Guide of Souls. That'll give me enough to give one of my cats flying, and actually I probably want to give the Ocelot Pride in particular flying. So Felia is going to flicker, I guess, my Static Prison here. We'll just ritual up a little energy here. We will take action. Target our Ocelot Pride. Make sure that we are gaining some life as well. And we put them down to a pretty low life total here. Our Static Prison will enter. We'll grab one of the sneak attacks back. Thank you for that. And I ask my opponent to please not kill me right now. If they didn't activate last turn, it means their card must not have been another sneak attack. And basically at this point, if I can just survive, we should be able to kill. It's just a Fury. That's totally okay. Alright, there go my Guide of Souls. And I wouldn't have had anything to give my creatures the ability to fly this turn, but it didn't matter because the board was wide enough. We take down Sneak and Show, or probably just Sneak Attack. Pretty cool deck though. Definitely the Vaultborn Tyrant combo with Sneak Attack is really nice. Luckily for us, Static Prison was the thing that we needed to have. Good round 4. Here comes the 5th and final round. Alright, we got one more try to make this thing work. It's been alright so far. Unfortunately, I think 3 True City has been underperforming. I would have rather that in many of these hands this was another plans. But we have the copium alive of Guide of Souls into eventually Recruiter of the Guard. Maybe we draw Felia along the way. Solitude can pitch any one of these cards if we really need to. I'm going to give it a try. Crazier things have never been said. What is opponent going to be playing here? Dovin is the avatar here, so maybe blue-white. We'll see how true that is. No, it's going to be probably Charbelcher here if we were seeing a Malakir Mire. So we have the ability to deal with a Belcher unless they go for a 1-turn kill with static, unless we need to do a Static Prison thing. So Grief can do whatever it's going to do. That's fine. We know that they don't have another Malakir Mire. I think they take my Static Prison. We have Solitude and Swords to Plowshares here, so any of their creatures are not going to be very good. If this is in fact Charbelcher, they don't really care about that kind of removal. They care more about Static Prison. And then the other thing that they would care about, I guess, would be me killing them quickly. So I need to play to my strengths, which is going to be a quick Guide of Souls, quick Recruit of the Guard. And it's going to really come down to me finding another land, which we actually just did. Sweet. And honestly, their first take was very surprising to me. I think this might just be Scam, maybe not Charbelcher. Yeah, we see Phyrexian Tower here. So it is just going to be Scam. It looks like there might be a Reanimated Grief in our future sometime soon. If that's going to be the case, not having the mana for Swords Plowshares feels a little awkward. They might Demonic Tutor for another Grief. Okay, they didn't do it. We get to now hold up for Felia. And then we'll play Recruiter of the Guard turn 3. You love to see it. In this situation, I think I am going human. If I had a Ocelot Pride on the battlefield, it would probably be smarter to go for Cat. Alright, we'll set up our Felia end step into Recruiter of the Guard turn 3. And then maybe we'll go ahead and grab that Cat. We could also grab our Adeline. Oh, we can't grab Adeline, that's right. Probably just going to be an Ocelot Pride then. They could end up playing like a Necropotence or Necrodominance. That would be a reason to grab Witch Enchanter. We have not seen that interaction come up yet this series. So with 2 mana, they might be looking at how they can win the game this turn. These things do happen fast. They demonic tutored for something last turn. Here's a swamp. And it'll be a reanimate on Grief. So do I want to Swords to Plowshares it? I can either Swords or Static Prison it. If I play the Static Prison, I'm pretty likely that I can keep it around. I can also get blown out here if I do the Felia. I think we're going to Swords here in response. The Felia doesn't need to happen, but this Grief does need to die. Sweet. And what will they take from this hand? There are some good options. The Recruiter of the Guard may be the one that they actually take. They'll actually just take the Static Prison. A real surprise there. But here is Dark Ritual into probably a Shieldred. Yep, wouldn't you know it. Alright, so we will take our draw first. We're actually just going to have a Solitude straight up. Love to see it. So I think I'm going to Solitude, pitching a Felia, play Recruiter of the Guard, getting another Felia. Yeah, if we can get the Felia to blink the Recruiter of the Guard, we're going to be back in this one real fast. And then I think we just go Solitude. Well, okay, so if we go Solitude in their upkeep, they may try to do something funky with Phyrexian Tower, but really what are they going to be doing at instant speed? I think I'm going to pitch cast the Solitude now. And now opponent will understand why I got a second Felia into hand. There we are. Gain another one of those. And we're unfortunately only at 2 out of 3 energies. Alright. So let's see what their play is now. 4th land. What is the final card in hand? Hopefully it is another land, because then we get to start running awry. Guess they get a Surveil here. No, just a Swamp. So can they play this last card in hand? Nice. I'm happy that they could not. Do I go for Felia now or hold Felia for end step? I think I don't need to go ham with the... Well, okay, so what could they have? They could have a Bowmasters go kill my Recruiter of the Guard, double trade with Guide of Souls. So I think I'm going to just hold on here. Static Prison and Felia are both going to be things that I'd like to play and have stick on the battlefield. This one feels like a pretty smart one to not play into. Here's Felia. That's going to give me my 3rd thing for Guide of Souls. I think Guide of Souls I'm going to want to give Felia the flying. Make sure that she can attack through. Alright, move to my turn. Horn of Gondor. That's pretty huge. But I think we're getting an Ocelot Pride here because we have Guide of Souls on the battlefield. So let's see if this last card gets played. We go like this. Felia is going to trigger this, and Guide of Souls is going to trigger on Felia. Now, this is a little awkward if they have Fatal Push as their last card in hand. I'm going to hope that they don't. Because for every turn from now on that they don't draw a Fatal Push, this Felia is a huge problem for them. Now, here's a Horn of Gondor. And now, you know... This is one situation where it's really unfortunate I can't fetch Adeline, because I would really like to in this situation. Here comes Recruiter of the Guard. I mean, we're just getting the Ocelot Pride. We go big in the cat direction. We'll take action. And, I mean, you know, I'm thinking about Witch Enchanter here, but for the most part, I think it's just going to be an Ocelot Pride. Move down step, say go. We can double with Horn of Gondor, go that route, or we can go wide with Ocelot Pride. Both are pretty solid. And I think that I'm going to be on the side of doubling with Horn of Gondor, because if they have Toxic Deluge, well, okay, Grief is a thing, sure. We have a 5/5 Felia, so we don't care. All right, and wow, we actually just drew the Adeline naturally. So that is ideal, I would say. So now we're not going to be able to keep the number of creatures up, unfortunately, but that's okay. We'll go Recruiter of the Guard here. Recruiter of the Guard could pitch cast a Solitude, taking out their Grief. I think I want to hold up another Solitude pitch here, though. So I will blink my Recruit of the Guard and grab one of those. We go 1, 2, 3 since we're making another Soldier. Blink the Recruiter. I could have blinked Horn of Gondor, but I chose not to. Another life here, and then we will, of course, do this. And you know what? Never mind. I guess I could have always just given the new 1/1 the flying, so it is what it is. But opponent takes 8 here, and that's non-trivial. Okay, so I'm losing a human here where I didn't need to. It is what it is. All right, so Felia is going to bring back our Recruit of the Guard. We're going to grab a Solitude, and we'll be set up to deal with their Grief or the next Shieldred that they play. I think that we should be able to win this one. We have Lethal in the air. They'll have to find exactly Toxic Deluge paying 5, right? Yeah, 5. They'd be going to 1. Then I have Ocelot Pride or the Horn of Gondor as my next win conditions. Yeah, I think I like what I see. We might have our opponent here, and maybe they're roping us out here as they realize that we do have it too. So in the case of that is what's happening. Let's go ahead and do the outro here. Thank you guys for watching the video. Hope you guys enjoyed. You know, it's not often that we get to play a lot of one-color decks in this channel. They are a lot of fun, and there are some really cool archetypes to play with in them. You know, you don't need to be playing 2 to 3 colors in order to really make everything work. Sometimes this will work just fine. I think my opponent is sticking around here, though. So while they are making priority passes here and there, it looks like they are not too attentive with the phone or computer or however they're playing this game. So yeah, I guess I'll continue. Thanks for watching the video. If you liked, like and comment on the video. That helps me a lot with the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe if you're new for videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And as this one ends out, I will see y'all in the next video.